post-millennial. Tim Waltz plays into dead Trump hoax. There will be news sometime. Oh, boy. There's a couple stories related to this. My favorite was this one, actually, the mystery garbage bag. Trump is saying apparently it's AI. Let me just play the video. We don't need the audio on this. For those that are not watching, just listening, the video appears to show the White House. A window is open, and it looks like someone hucks a garbage bag out the window. Apparently, Trump was like, those windows are sealed. You can't open them. So it may be an AI video that was a hoax. But what I love about it is this video went viral on these anti-Trump forums because they were saying, holy crap, Trump's dead. They're disposing of the evidence. Something's wrong. They're not telling us the truth. And I'm like, wow. Then Tim Waltz does this thing. Let me play the video here.
You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
He's saying Trump will be dead. Now, the crazy thing is, guys, it was Labor Day weekend. We made a bunch of pizzas. We got one of those brick ovens. It's amazing. And we were hanging out. I did a little bit of work in the morning, but there was no live show and there was no IRL because it's Labor Day. And so Trump is gone for a few days, and the left starts saying he's dead. The fact that Tim Waltz can go on stage and say, you all saw that, and they know what he's talking about. This is a cult. They are deranged and insane people. Yeah. A holiday weekend happened where the president was not heard from, and my first response was Labor Day. Well, yeah, but he was missing before. Yeah, I know it's a long weekend. So it's like Friday's around the corner, and he's like, look, I'm just going to hang out with the family. It's Labor Day. Give me a break. And I was like, okay, we all feel that way. Trump's not special in that regard. But they all genuinely believed this psychotic conspiracy theory. And then when they announced that Trump was going to do a press conference, they started spreading rumors that Trump was announcing his resignation. And then what happens? Trump shows up, sharp as a tack, talking about all sorts of stuff. Does like a 3-hour press conference. Okay, it was actually like an hour. Totally healthy and normal. How do we function as a country when half the population is deranged?
Yeah. Well,
they vote.
Yeah. It's like Gavin Newsom trying to do like a crappy imitation of Trump. This is the left doing a crappy imitation of the right. Leave the conspiracy theories to us. You guys just aren't good at it.
And universal suffrage.
Yeah. The blue anon stuff. Sorry, guys. It feels bootleg, cut rate.
Oh,
Leave it to us.
Did you? But this has always been the lie. The right's not been conspiratorial. They've been analytical.
Well, we're right usually.
Indeed.
So that's the difference.
Did you see them all lying and claiming Walter Reed's roads were blocked off?
Yeah.
These people are crackpots.
Yeah.
Jess Margera, I'm talking to you, buddy. I hope you hear this. This is nuts, dude. You're blue anon lunatics.
One of the other
touch grass. Go out and touch grass.
One of the other things that you're starting to see a lot of is people saying, look, J.D. Vance, when he gets into office, he's going to consolidate power and blah, blah, blah. And it blows my mind that people are saying this because it's like, look, if something happens to Donald Trump, right? Like I'm not hoping for it, but if something does happen, he gets sick or whatever, we have a constitutional process that means that J.D. Vance will take office because he is the vice president. The idea that that's some kind of attempt to seize power, it's just totally ridiculous. And I mean, I feel like it goes beyond conspiratorial to be entirely detached from reality. Just totally don't want to acknowledge that there is a normal process and J.D. Vance would take office as the president, and that would be perfectly normal. It's happened multiple times in our history. There's nothing unique about it. And still they continue to act as if, oh, J.D. Vance would take power, and they're trying to set up the idea that J.D. Vance would be worse than Donald Trump because Donald Trump is Hitler, and so J.D. Vance would be super mega Hitler or whatever.
You know, they have these buzzwords, right? I mean, consolidate power. That's one of their favorite ones. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've spoken at conferences in Budapest, Hungary, multiple times in the past few years, and they love bashing the prime minister there, Viktor Orban, for what they call democratic backsliding. That's their favorite term of choice for over in Hungary, and I guess Europe more broadly, is they're sending democracy backwards and reverse. I mean, they say the same crap here about President Trump on a day in, day out basis as well. There.
Don't you guys remember when Ron DeSantis was briefly in the lead? What the reaction from the left was, the liberals? It was Ron DeSantis is worse than Trump.
Right.
You don't understand?
Right.
He's imagine if Trump was competent, he's going to be so much worse. And then when DeSantis, of course, lost, it was no, Trump's been bad the whole time. Who's Ron? And now JD Vance.
Yep.
They're gearing up for the same regurgitated psycho cult garbage.
Because they have no substance anymore.
Correct.
The Democrat Party is so torn between the progressives and the what you would consider normal Democrats, and they don't know who they are as a party. There was someone that was talking, I forgot who it was, but it was a tweet that I saw, said that AOC, Zohran Mamdani, and the rest of the DSA need to leave the Democrat Party because they are dragging them down.
Yes.
The progressives are really harming normal Democrats. And as long as the progressives are the ones that are setting the policy choices and making the arguments most vocally, they're going to have a problem because the American people have clearly said we do not want that stuff.
It's just not true, though. Who was it? Who's the Virginia guy? Is it Mark, what's his face?
Warner?
Was he the guy who's like, I'm going to go save Kilmar Abreu Garcia or whatever?
That was the Maryland guy.
Van Hollen.
Von Hollen, yeah.
No. Recently, let me pull the tweet up.
It was Mark.
Yeah, it's a guy in Virginia. And I tweeted at him, like, glad I live in West Virginia, not regular Virginia, because regular Virginia is nuts. There's no regular Democrats. The middle of the road Democrats are being like, hey, you know that wife beating MS-13 human smuggler?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, he not I. Get him out of here. And they're like, nah. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not voting for Tim Waltz.
Right.
He's supposed to represent the regular Democrat. You get rid of AOC, you're worse off. Like, at least AOC will say something like moderately anti-war. Do I want woke light with neoliberal warmongering? No. At least I know what the progressives are trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't want either of them, to be honest.
But this stuff makes me happy. I mean, when Tim Walz, he was their vice presidential candidate. When he plays into this dead Trump porn, and that's what it is. This is just their version of porn, right? I mean, when he's playing the dead Trump porn, when the mayor of Minneapolis is bashing thoughts and prayers within minutes of a horrific shooting there, I mean, who benefits from this insanity? I mean, not them. I mean, the only opposition. I mean, that is to say, what I call civilizational sanity. I mean, you want to call it the right, that's fine. I kind of think the whole left-right dichotomy is a little kind of ahistorical at this point there. I think of it more as just civilizational sanity versus, civilizational arson. But when the arsonists are saying this stuff there, we on Team Sanity, I mean, we're picking up, we're getting new followers, new voters there, and we're looking good. So I'm not saying it's necessarily a good thing for the country. In theory, you don't want half the country to be totally deranged there. I'm just saying that I think the solace that I take in the silver lining is that they're not winning anyone over with this. They're winning over no one whatsoever there. And they're not in good shape as it is. I mean, even the New York Times had this long form piece talking about how the 2030 Electoral College, the census, it's going to be a bloodbath for them. Everyone's fleeing the blue states. They're fleeing the Illinois, the Connecticut's, the New Yorks. Where are they going? They're going to the red states, Florida, Texas, Carolinas, Georgia, Arizona, you name it there. So the trend is very much already on its way.
Yeah, it was Mark Warner. He said, this afternoon I visited Kilmar Abreu Garcia and other detainees at the Farmville Detention Center to deliver letters from his family. He wants to keep fighting for justice.
Imagine how emotional he was. He wants to keep fighting for justice. And while
Me too.
I can't
Me too. And that would be send him back. Anyway,
weigh
Send him to
in
Uganda.
on some of the
Even better.
allegations.
I wouldn't call that justice, but
I know this. They wrongfully moved him to El Salvador.
oh my God, there's no sane Democrats. Like,
He was a moderate. You're totally right. To your point,
he's not. I get you're saying.
He was though. Like at some point, he was.
He's running in effectively a swing state. At least
Part of the
it sounds.
reason why there's no sane Democrats is because they don't actually have a leader. If they had a leader, if there were someone that were a quote unquote sane Democrat that stepped up that actually could lead the party and had the charisma and the political, the political chops to do that, they would fall in line. But this is because he's floundering because the whole party's floundering. He's not sure where to go.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if this is the right thing to do or not. So he's doing what he thinks is the best thing for his future electoral, possibilities. But if there was someone that were to speak well and came up and said, okay, this is what the party should be doing, that was an actual good leader, they could lead the party in a direction that would get them, that would get them the votes that they need. But there's no one that can do that right now.
They tried. So the Cracker Barrel thing happens, right? And I'm lying on my couch watching Fox News, just, listen to that sweet, sweet Jesse Waters tell me stories all night. And the Democrats put out this tweet where they were like, it's the meme of the guy standing up, making his pronunciation, his enunciation, and it said, "We too think the Cracker Barrel rebrand is bad." And I was like, "Look, the Democratic Party is healing. They're realizing that the strategy of anything you do is bad. That strategy doesn't work." And so when people were like, "The Cracker Barrel rebrand is a bad thing," the Democrat Twitter said, "We agree." But within only a few hours, all the known faces and actors, liberals, came out and said, "You're just bigots, and you think Cracker Barrel, blah blah blah," and they made memes of like Confederate flags and swastikas, and it's like, guys, Cracker Barrel. I'll let you in on a secret. I know I've been on this bent over the past month about population. The reason why Cracker Barrel rebranded is because of population collapse. 100%. They rebranded. And the liberals defend the rebrand, even though it was a clear and obvious mistake, because anything the right likes, they must oppose. But for the brief moment, I'll find the tweet, they actually were in agreement.
Wait, sorry. How does it have to do with population, the Cracker Barrel rebrand?
Cracker Barrels was struggling. Their numbers were bad. Their sales were down. And I've heard a couple different stories. I could be wrong about this, but this is somewhat ancillary. But I heard that the original CEO got fired because of a lack of sales. I don't know if that's true. One thing is true is that the revenue was decreasing. And this wasn't just growth where they're trying to establish new locations. This was existing locations were seeing revenue decline. At least this is my understanding of the story. So they bring in the CEO and they ask the question, like, why are we losing money? And they try to figure it out. And so the assessment is, look, people just want a booth and they want sugar-covered cinnamon swirl dessert pancakes, okay? They don't care for hokey, knickknacks on the wall and then in a little store with all the knickknacks to buy. They just want sugar donut swirl double-glazed pancakes. So they said, okay, simplify. Get rid of the theme stuff, cut the cost down, reduce our footprint, and give the people what they want. And it got worse.
Yeah.
The reason why sales are going down is because people don't bring their families out to dinner anymore. 10 years ago, you had more families. You have substantially less families now. So when a couple goes to get breakfast, it is a man and a woman sitting down at a table for 4, ordering 2 orders of sugar-glazed garbage pancakes. 10 years ago, it was 4 people, 2 kids, getting a short stack of sugar-glazed garbage pancakes with their parents, and their parents were spending a little bit more. Revenue is going down because people don't feed their kids anymore. People have talked about, why did Pizza Hut turn into a strip mall from the family location? Because people don't have kids anymore. Why did the McDonald's Play Place go away and now McDonald's is a brutalist cube? Because people don't have kids anymore. So this population collapse results in Cracker Barrel losing money, forcing the rebrand. Everybody says it's garbage. They try and backtrack, but their revenue will still go down. So anyway, long story short, the Democrats have no idea how to adapt to this. The only thing they have is if the right likes it, it's bad. And there's no recovery. Let me try and find that tweet from the Democrats, because they were agreeing for a second. And, yep, that was easy. Took me 2 seconds. This is it right here. At the Democrats tweeted, "We think the Cracker Barrel rebrand sucks too." And they got a ton of retweets for it. Bipartisanship 2025. I quote tweeted and said, "At last, unity." Mm-hmm. And then what happened? The next day, all of your familiar faces, all of the prominent liberals were like, Cracker Barrel should rebrand because they're racist.
Yeah.
Democrats tried. They tried. This is the way you win. This is how the Democrats win again. They start acting like Joe Rogan and stop acting like weird woke lefty activists.
Yeah, I mean, it's like part of the problem with the Democrats is that they do adopt the aesthetics of Middle America sometimes without actually implementing the policies that would benefit Middle America. Like a great example was during the Kamala Waltz campaign. They had these camo hats with the orange text on it. And they're like, "See, look at us. It's like a Bass Pro Shops. We're one of you guys." And then their policies would like eviscerate like Middle America.
Yeah, but that was always very fake and very clearly fake. Like nobody was buying it. Nobody buys that Tim Walz is an avid hunter, or that he's a gun guy, or that Kamala Harris has a Glock, or that any of them are pro Second Amendment, or any of this the garbage they try to. You
remember Tim Walz trying to hold that shotgun?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was the whole 3 from Inglorious Bastards, right? Like this is the German 3. He's like, this is the one. Was it this?
This is the German 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the English.
Yeah, but that's the point. I'm not a German.
I love that meme. It's like how you know someone's not really part of your
Right.
subculture.
Is
It shows them going like this.
It's the same thing. It's super transparently BS, you know. And when they do try to go and say, hey, we actually want to try and attract young men and attract middle America, they can't help but do things that automatically put them off. They've been telling young white guys that they're the devil for the better part of 20 years.
Before we go to the next story, I do want to read this one quick super chat. Luis Rodriguez says, civil war is out, population collapse isn't. No. Population collapse is a fact. What happens in that population collapse, we don't exactly know, but we know for a fact it's happening because we can actually track the fertility numbers. Civil war, on the other hand, is there's some kind of political turmoil happening, but they're both going to happen. Hope you're preparing. I don't know what civil war would look like if it does happen, but when infrastructure and resources crumble and collapse, you will get fighting. Trump is deploying the National Guard to U.S. cities. This is another escalation, and I predicted it. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.